Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's SIIA Tech Chats. Joining me is Rajeev Kapur, CEO of 1105 Media. 1105 Media is a provider of B2B marketing and media services. Rajeev, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. I want to jump right in. Your focus is B2B. Our audience is primarily B2B. So today I want to pick your brain on B2B marketing. Let's start with lead gen. What are some of the biggest challenges you see affecting B2B lead gen today? Like, what are companies doing wrong?
So I think there's two. So I think if you think about companies, there's obviously the lead gen providers, and then there's the customers of that lead gen that are being received. So I think let's start with lead gen providers. 1105 is a lead gen provider as well as others. And I don't necessarily know if you would say doing wrong. I would say it's more along the lines of how do you evolve? And I think the challenge for lead gen and lead gen providers is that we've effectively, for the most part, we've been fairly generic, stale, or the same in terms of how we go about getting leads for people for the last few years. And I've got this saying that I tell people: most companies get challenged not because they do the wrong thing, they get challenged because they do the right thing for too long. And I think the way people have been doing lead gens for a long time was right. And to some respects, there's still value there today, but the biggest challenge really becomes sustainability with the current approach. And whether it's batch and blast, or there's poor targeting, or we're not providing enough nurturing tools for our customers, or maybe there's too much telemarketing happening in that space. Databases are always going up, going down, changing, modifying. We're always constantly investing in our database, and we feel like we have a really strong and one of the strongest databases in North America in that IT enterprise and big data space where we serve. And so we think we've made some investments there, but essentially, how do you move away from a shotgun type of approach to maybe more of a rifle type of approach? And if we can do that, again, as I mentioned in my keynote last year in Florida, which is, I think as an industry, we got to figure out how to tackle this, because we need the whole industry to grow together. Because when the companies are all growing together, it rises all tides. All tides rise, all boats rise. So it's really an effective way for the whole industry to come together and grow as an industry. And that's important for our industry to be healthy, right? But when you think about the customers, like, the companies that are receiving these things, one of their biggest things is, and it's been really evident over the last year or two, is that marketing departments have shrunk over time, right? And not a lot has gone back and investing into those marketing departments. And if they have, it's usually been in B2C social, or SEO money, or Facebook ads, or other places. And so, the challenge becomes is that they don't necessarily have the staff to go and properly nurture the contacts that are passed their way, whether it's from us or anybody else. So that really becomes a challenge. And so, and a lot of times what happens is marketers, because they are so short-staffed, will take these leads and just give them to their sales teams and say, hey, just call them, right? And there's one company that we worked with, for example, that took leads, called them, and we got this lead report back saying, well, the company never called us back, so it's not a lead. No, that's not really how it works. And so you got to help them along a little bit. And so we have to do a much better job of helping to invest more in marketing technology solutions to help them. We have to do a much better job of conveying our own marketing services messages. So, for example, last year we launched the O5 group, which is the extension of our marketing services arm, and that's been doing really well. It's one of the fastest growing groups within 1105. That's really exciting, and we got to figure out how to really help. And we set a challenge for ourselves of how can we really evolve in this space, and how can we move away from lead gen to more demand gen. And that's effectively where, as you guys know, where ultimately Project Bold came out of, that we've been working on, and we're getting ready to launch pretty soon. So I know we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but that's kind of effectively, I think where the opportunities lie, which is marketing staffs have shrunk. How do we become more of an extension to those marketing teams to help them nurture and provide more of a complete solution throughout the entire funnel process?
Yeah, I think you're right. I want to talk a little bit about, as you mentioned, Project Bold. I believe it stands for Beyond Ordinary Lead Delivery. That's if I'm correct there. Can you tell us what you mean by that? What's the impact that companies can have if they take this approach?
Look, I think, we set off early on. So, about 2 years ago, one of the challenges I gave my team was, you know, I want a demand gen platform for our customers because I had gone out and visited a ton of our customers. Our entire management team, even members of our board, went out and talked to customers. And the feedback we got from them is that they wanted a solution that allowed them to have something early in the buying, to make sure they were receiving opportunities early in the buying stage. So if you think about a customer buyer journey, there's the awareness stage, the consideration stage, the decision stage, and implementation. Well, it's too late in implementation. In some cases, it's way too late in decision. So how can you engage a customer before they raise their hand, before they engage in a let's say more traditional lead gen type of an asset? How can you do that early? How can you get them based on their consumption, what they're looking for right now? And effectively, that's where Project Bold is the internal code name, and we're getting ready to launch the business here fairly shortly, and there's going to be a new customer-facing company that's going to do that. I think I will always probably call it Bold, but there will be a whole new brand that goes along with that to the customer, to the outward bound customer and industry. But so that was kind of the challenge. How do we do that? So we went off, talked to a bunch of our customers. We got what they wanted early. That's what they wanted. Early, allow us the time to properly introduce ourselves to these folks and give us ways to help nurture these things, nurture these opportunities. So I said, all right, team, here's your challenge. I want us to go build a solution. And I kind of knew what I wanted early on. I kind of had a vision in my head for what I wanted Bold to be. And I'm excited to say it's pretty close to the original vision. And so ultimately is how can we go off and provide this information, provide this solution early in the process, and can we do it in a way where we're not beating up a database, where we're not doing a lot of telemarketing, if any, or no telemarketing, to be quite honest, and really provide customers with real value that helps them, that helps us become a real deep extension of their teams. And on top of that, it's interesting because, and so of course, as you go around doing this, this is effectively what a lot of people would call ABM, account-based marketing. And so we went off, we hired a team of skunkworks people. We had data scientists, project managers, cloud people, engineers. We put them in a room. We kind of locked them up for the last year or so. We then did a 6-month beta program that went pretty well. And now we're getting ready to launch. And effectively what we were able to do was have this predictive algorithm and to go out there and do what we call predictive ABM. We're really able to go predict when somebody's going to purchase, really build that in as a top of or above the funnel type solution. And then through our marketing services group, the O5 company, really partner together and provide people with the right nurturing tools. Because we have a database, we can not only provide them with the domain or the ABM company, we can also provide them with contacts and even get down to the location level in many occasions. And there's some folks out there that do kind of ABM and these kinds of things already, but nobody's doing it the way we are. Nobody's doing it with a predictive algorithm. Some people are doing some things around intent and surge, which is fine. We think that we just think we're just intent and surge data is really important, and that's the cake. We're the icing on the cake with our predictive solution. So I think that's the best way to describe it, because intent and surge have their place. So we've got great partners, that are helping us. We're really excited, and the ability to come in and work with folks on not just here's the ABM company or the ABM domain. Here is the opportunity to say, here are contacts at that company as well. Oh, by the way, on quite a few of them, we have the exact location where they might be and where that activity is happening through our prediction. And oh, by the way, Mr. Or Ms. Customer, we also can help you if you have some challenges with your teams in terms of being staffing issues. We can also help you nurture that through white papers, webinars, email, custom events, infographics, you name it, we can do that. So a full-in one-stop shop is what we wanted to do, and that's what we're getting ready to launch.
That's really exciting. I'm sure your customers are all very excited to get their hands on that as well.
Yeah, the feedback's been great, and the exciting thing for us is that not only can we offer it to our customers, we're also going to have agency partner opportunities as well. So that's really exciting too.
Fantastic. I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about content marketing. We're definitely living a different world today in this millennial era. How do you think marketers need to approach their content marketing strategies today?
So I think this is where first of all, content is king, and it'll always be king. And what's happening now is in this world where a lot of the content is being consumed, and that content and how that consumption is being handled, and what people are doing, and how we're using it, for example, for bold, is really important. And so I don't think content will never go away. In fact, it only has to get better and more enhanced. A lot of people claim the millennial generation doesn't have a large attention span, but these are the same folks that will go and binge watch a TV show, for example, right? Or they'll go watch hours of YouTube videos, right? So it's not an attention span thing. It's a compelling thing, right? So how do you continue to build compelling content is going to be key. And over time, what's going to happen is that I think you're going to start to see technology even come in place here. You're going to see, machine learning, which we're using in bold, right? Those types of technology things are going to come in. They're going to allow editors, content providers to say, hey, these are the key keywords you want to have in this. These are the trends you want to be associated with in building your content. Don't just go from a shotgun approach to your content. Use the technologies that are out in the marketplace that are coming down the road, whether it's something in the artificial intelligence space, bots, whatever, Project Bold, whatever it might be. How can you take that? How can you take that technology and now build even more compelling content than you've done in the past? So content will never go away. It'll always be king. In the B2B world, one of the challenges is obviously B2B doesn't necessarily have the strongest social opportunity, because not many people engage socially on B2B just for fun, right? It's like you'd engage with a B2C company because it's a consumer. You want to buy a new tie or suits, or clothing company, or you want to go engage with a company because you're looking to buy a car or whatever it might be. It's different. In B2B, I would argue that 99% of the population just doesn't go to B2B for fun, right? So we're actually there to provide solutions to help businesses grow, and that's where we got to make sure that we're doing our job to to continue to be a greater extension of our partners and our customers' marketing departments, to make sure they're continue to build compelling content, and then how do they take that content and use it to grow their business.
I think that's great advice. Rajeev, thank you so much for your time and insights today. For more information on 1105 Media and SIA, please visit our websites, and we will see you next week on SIA Tech Chats.